One day, I was with my friend's dad, Mr. Thompson. He really wanted a PlayStation 4, but didn't want to spend a lot of money on a new one. We came up with the idea of getting a used one since it's cheaper. I looked on Facebook Marketplace and found lots of people selling PlayStation 4 in our area. The prices varied from $150 to $200. I thought, this is a great opportunity. I texted about 10 people, asking if they would sell their PlayStation 4 for $100. Most said no or didn't respond. Surprisingly, one person replied and suggested $130. I stuck to my original offer $100, and to my surprise, he agreed. I was excited because my friend Mr. Thompson was finally getting a PlayStation 4. We were looking forward to playing games online together. The seller wanted to meet up, so I suggested driving to him. But he took more than an hour to tell me his location. Meanwhile, Mr. Thompson and I started to feel a bit worried. We've had experiences with unreliable people on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist before, so the delay was making us uneasy. But the deal seemed too good to say no to. Finally, the seller sent me his address, and we went there almost right away. It was about a 30-minute drive, and since it was getting late, neither of us knew the area well. When it hit 9:30 at night, it was really dark outside. The address led us to the wrong place at first, making us even more concerned. We sent messages back and forth, and eventually, we found the right house. When we arrived and parked in the driveway, a guy named Dave came out to meet us. He said sorry for the confusion, and we talked for a bit. Mr. Thompson gave him the money, and in return, Dave gave us the PlayStation 4 and all the cords. We left soon after, super excited about getting such a good deal. As we were leaving home, we suddenly remembered that we didn't grab the controller for the PlayStation 4 that Dave mentioned. I suggested to Mr. Thompson that we should go back since we hadn't even gone a mile yet. But Mr. Thompson didn't like the idea, and if Dave messaged us at that moment, we might not have turned around. I was trying to remember Dave's name when Mr. Thompson and I talked about how he forgot to give us the game controller. We completely forgot about it. Just when we were thinking of going back, Dave messaged me. He said sorry and admitted he forgot to give us the controller with the PlayStation 4. We decided to go back because buying a new PlayStation 4 controller would be expensive, around $60. So we thought it was better to go back and get it. When we got back to Dave's place, he messaged me to meet him in the backyard. He explained he was outside smoking and asked if we could come to him instead. I showed Mr. Thompson the message, and he quickly said no. It seemed suspicious, especially because it was really dark at the back of the driveway, which we could only see a little from the front. But my curiosity got the best of me, and I decided to investigate. Mr. Thompson chose to stay in the car. As I walked up the driveway slowly, I started to feel a little nervous. Something inside me urged me to keep going, even though I had doubts. When I reached the fence and opened it, the darkness was overwhelming. It was even darker than I expected. I went into the yard and closed the gate. Suddenly, someone hit me on the left side of my head. I quickly turned around, but I got punched in the face 3 more times and fell down. Luckily, Mr. Thompson saw what was happening and rushed to help. He fought off the 3 guys who attacked me, even when one of them had a knife. Somehow, Brandon managed to take the knife away. We left the place quickly and went home. We called the police, but as far as I know, they didn't come at all. They didn't get back to us. The whole situation felt strange, like it was planned. It seemed like they wanted to meet us for the first time, understand us, and then maybe attack us. We thought Dave might have intentionally left the controller behind as a fake excuse. That night was the final time I tried using Facebook Marketplace. The whole thing made me feel really uneasy, and now I'm not sure if I'll use it again. The risk just didn't seem worth it. Even in the supposedly safe world of online buying and selling, things can go unexpectedly wrong and make you rethink everything. My wife's 31st birthday was coming up, and she really wanted to go to her favorite country artist's summer tour. I thought it would be easy to get tickets, but I was shocked to see they cost over $200. I'm not used to going to concerts, so I thought they would be more affordable. Luck was with me. The concert tour was coming near her hometown, so I thought it was a great chance to give her a surprise gift. The tickets were going on sale on a Tuesday, and since I had to work that day, my plan was to go online after work to buy them. However, I didn't realize that my lack of knowledge about buying concert tickets would cause a problem later on. I wanted to go to an event, but the tickets sold out really fast. When I checked after work, there were none left. I got a bit worried, so I asked my friend for help. They suggested looking on other websites where people sell tickets, even though it might cost more. I tried searching on different websites like StubHub and Vivid Seats, but didn't have much luck. I didn't give up and decided to check on Craigslist and Facebook groups for people selling tickets nearby. I messaged a few, but the replies were slow, and some were asking for more money each time. It seemed like I hit a dead end until, after weeks of searching, I found someone named Victor. Victor put 2 tickets for sale at a fair price on Facebook Marketplace. I quickly messaged him, hoping the tickets were still there. To my joy, Victor replied the next morning, saying the tickets were still available. Victor told me there were other people interested, so to make sure I got the tickets, he recommended using PayPal for payment. Even though I was unsure, I knew using PayPal's buyer protection would keep my money safe if Victor turned out to be dishonest. I sent the payment, and he confirmed he got it. I wanted to give my wife some tickets as a gift, and I had 2 choices: get them online or go to a place to pick them up. I chose to go in person. I made a plan with a guy named Victor to meet at a nearby store at 8 p.m. I got there a little early, parked where we agreed, and waited nervously. After about 50 minutes, an old car pulled up near mine. I wasn't sure if it was Victor, so I waited anxiously. Finally, the car door opened, and Victor confirmed it was him. He thanked me, gave me the tickets, and we chatted a bit before going our separate ways. I put the tickets in a box as a birthday surprise for my wife. She was really happy when she opened it on her birthday. On the day of the concert, everything was going great. We had awesome seats, were enjoying our drinks, and having a lot of fun. But about 15 minutes into one of the opening performances, Victor tapped me on the shoulder and interrupted the fun. I was surprised when I saw him. He said sorry for being late because of traffic. He even reached over me to say hi to my wife, acting like we were all good friends. My wife was polite and didn't ask about it, but I felt confused. Victor's comments during the night made it seem like we had planned to go to the concert together, and it made things a bit awkward. As the concert was finishing, Victor leaned over and said,
"What are we doing next? What's the plan for the rest of the night?"
My wife looked confused, so I thanked Victor for getting us the tickets, but told him we were going home. I stood up, took my jacket, and we left. But as we were walking down the aisle, something surprising happened. Victor suddenly grabbed my arm, and before he could say anything, I got really upset and said, "What's wrong with you? I don't even know you. Just leave us alone, okay?" I had run out of patience after spending the evening with a stranger's strange ideas. I felt a mix of anger and regret as we left the place. The next few weeks went by without any more problems. Life went back to normal, with both my wife and me busy with work and chores. One night, feeling really tired, I decided to go to bed early. While trying to read myself to sleep, a Facebook alert popped up on my phone. I got a message from Victor. He said thanks for the concert and sorry if he went too far, but then he said he wanted to know us better, which made me feel uncomfortable. So, I deleted the message and blocked him. Social media can bring in some strange people, I guess. A spooky message bothered me for days, but it slowly started going away. About 6 or 7 weeks after a concert, something weird happened. My wife and I were on the couch, busy with our phones, when our dog suddenly went wild, barking like crazy. Someone banged loudly on the door, and besides our close family, we rarely had visitors. I was worried and I told my wife to stay where she was, while I went towards the door in the garage. When I opened the door, I was surprised and a bit scared to see Victor standing there. I was so shocked that all I could say was, "Why are you here?" Victor then told me he had tickets for a show next week and thought we might want to go. He had a weird smile on his face while he kept talking. I asked him how he knew where we lived, and he said he got it from a PayPal payment. I was mad and scared, so I told him to stay away from my family. I said I'd call the police and let our dogs handle it. His smile turned into a frown, and he said, "We'll see," before walking off. I went outside for a bit to calm down before going back inside. When my wife asked who it was, I just said it was someone delivering something. But weird things kept happening. For several nights and weeks, I felt like something wasn't right. The outdoor lights would flicker a lot, and we'd hear strange sounds near our doors and windows. I tried telling myself that I was just feeling more alert because of meeting Victor. Luckily, nothing else happened with him, but I still felt uneasy. When I thought about what happened, I decided I won't buy anything from Facebook anymore. Victor showing up at our door was a surprising and uncomfortable twist, and now I don't feel comfortable using online stores. Last year was pretty crazy. I had this pool table in my basement just sitting there, not really being used and taking up space. I thought it was time to get rid of it, you know? So, I decided to sell it on Facebook Marketplace, hoping to get a decent amount of money for it. Since I didn't use the table much, and it wasn't in the best condition, I set the price a bit higher. Not too crazy, but I wanted to aim for a good deal. However, after a while, no one seemed interested. Weeks went by, and I didn't get any takers. It was pretty quiet, and no one was showing interest in buying it. One day, a guy named Tom suddenly messaged me and said he wanted to buy my pool table. We talked about it. Decided on a time for him to come over and see it. I didn't expect much, just wanted to get rid of it. On the agreed day, around 6 p.m., after Tom finished work, he showed up. I let him in. We went downstairs to the basement, and I showed him the pool table. He looked at it for a bit and then said he wanted to buy it. No arguing about the price. No trying to get a better deal. He gave me all the money, which surprised me, but I was happy about it. I told him it was his now, and we loaded it into his truck. He has a big pickup truck, and we managed to fit the pool table into it, even though it was a bit of a hassle. After that, he leaves, and I'm feeling pretty happy about the whole thing, because I didn't expect to get that much money for the table. About 2 weeks later, he contacts me and says he thinks he got a bad deal. He believes he could have found a better offer somewhere else. I tell him, dude, it's been more than a week. A deal is a deal. He's not happy, but I'm not giving him any money back. I had a price in mind, and if he wasn't okay with it, he should have tried negotiating for a better deal. It's not my problem, you know. We had a disagreement, and I thought it was over. But a few days later, Tom disappeared without a trace. Then things got weird. One evening, my girlfriend and I noticed a guy in the front yard. We investigated and saw a white truck on the street. I recognized it as Tom's truck from when he helped us move the pool table. I shared the story with my girlfriend, and we tried to find Tom by peeking through windows. When I went back to the front, Tom's truck suddenly started and drove away. I thought about texting Tom, but he had blocked me. Strange, isn't it? 2 nights later, he comes back and hangs around outside my house. This time, I'm by myself, watching TV in the living room. Suddenly, I see a man walking past the front window. A minute later, I hear my front door handle making noise like someone's trying to open it. Luckily, it's locked. Without wasting any time, I call the police. Tom leaves before they arrive, and he's gone for good. I think the police will handle it, and I can move on. But the next morning, as I'm leaving for work, I hear someone running behind me. I turn around and it's Tom, sprinting towards me. I rush back into my house just in time, and he starts banging on my door and window. I called the police again, and this time they came quickly. They caught Tom, and thankfully, he didn't make a mess in my home. After that, I decided to take a break from using Facebook Marketplace. There are nice people on there, but I want to warn everyone to be careful. Don't share your address and prioritize your safety. Life is funny, right? You never know what surprises will come your way, even when you're just trying to sell a pool table on Facebook Marketplace.